When I heard that there was a war in Sierra Leone where they were cutting off hands of children, I thought I must do something. So I began by making a doll without hands, which you'll see on the back of my vest. That I took,
oh my goodness!
That I took to the amputee camp
May I
on
see
neck
that
straps.
again? I'm gonna.
It's over on the other table too. But I took it to the amputee camp, and because I thought, there are children all over the world that are suffering with trauma and loss, and so each doll of mine has a message that I formed HEAL Foundation, Heal, Educate, Affirm, and Love, and I began making dolls for children of trauma around the world. I made a doll that went to Beijing with all the pigtails in the kimono for children that are in an orphanage because they have an incarcerated parent and they're told they're bad and they're isolated from their extended family. I made special needs dolls for children in Mozambique, a lot of dolls for children with AIDS in South Africa, a doll of sexual abuse, and each one of my dolls has a message. And
You show us some of your dolls.
this is a literacy doll that
Yes.
has the letters inside that the child can take out and spell. And this is a child combatant doll.
It's a what?
Child combatant doll. This is in Jerry.
If you step back just a tiny bit, I can get
Sorry.
it right in the camera.
She's in a trap in a net with her doll and her gun, and I wanted to call attention to the fact that 1.2 million children are trafficked each year, and this is in Jerry, which means warrior, and she is to create awareness, and it says on her body in Jerry, was my name until I disappeared, and this is the magic slate that when you lift up it disappears. And this is a Rumi doll. You really want me to go through all these? This is a Rumi doll that is reaching out, and on the back side it says reach
Just
for,
go nice and slow so I can catch every little thing. They're so fascinating.
reach for the treasure within. So it's encouraging you to go within yourself or your source. Rumi's message of selfhood. This is a Queen King doll with Rumi's message again, and it says your spirit is like a Queen King, and on the other side is a king.
Turn
This
her
is the
over.
queen.
Let's see the king.
Here's the king,
Oh my goodness.
and that's really speaking to gender equality. This is a moon doll that I like very much. It has the 4 messages of the moon. The moon of slender light tells us to love those who are poor in spirit. The half moon tells us to share. Enough is a feast, the African proverb. Then the 3/4 moon tells us to reduce, reuse, recycle. And the whole moon tells us that we are one. So it's a teaching doll. And
That's wonderful. What about this big one right here?
oh, that's a bullying doll. It says, "How can you stop being a bully?"
It's a bully doll.
Yeah, foot in the mouth doll. So it says, "Speak easy, speak wisely, speak a language of peace."
Wonderful. And this one, I was so fascinated by this one right here.
This is a suicide bomber doll that has,
Suicide bomber doll.
and this is the bomb in the back of the doll.
Oh my goodness.
And then you see that it has a cloak of Rumi's love, and that says, the cloak goes over the bomb, and it says, "Be the soul of the place where you stand," on the cloak.
What is the explanation of that doll?
Well, I wanted to call attention to the fact that so many women are dying as suicide bomber doll. I mean, suicide. They're losing their lives to suicide, and so I wanted.
Because women are committing suicide, or are they?
No, they're a bomber doll, rooted in hate. They're wrapped in a cloak of Rumi's love. In the Middle East, you see people blowing up themselves.
Yes.
And this
Are more women doing that?
more women recruited to be suicide bombers. Yeah.
Wow.
How much is she?
They're not for sale. This is a lighthouse doll, and it says on the back, "Let your light shine," and it shines.
That's wonderful. And how about this one right here?
That's an ancestor doll. It says, "Oh, sing me, rock me, Leia Mamu, old Africa-shaped mama, with cowries, beads, and braids, and wrapper of blue, all symbols of praise for you." Doll says, "Refugee, go home. I belong just like you." Made from a suitcase. It has the light that flashes on and off. This is a hearing impaired doll, and this is a doll that comes with a book that connects children with sight with children without sight. His name is Suli, which means adventure.
How does it connect them?
Well, it has a story of connection, and it tells about his life and the alphabet, the Braille alphabet, and then
Is this a story you made up?
with a blind student. I taught all last year at the Braille Institute. And then it has a bag of buttons on the back in the pocket, so the children are invited to create their own name in Braille with this story. And this is a doll a thinking out of the box doll that lights up. And
She's a box doll?
no, thinking out of the box.
Oh, thinking out of
yeah.
the box. How cute is that? That's wonderful.
And this is a self-hood doll, Be Mindful. And this is an Ubuntu doll, which is the philosophy of Ubuntu in South Africa, which says forgive, community, share, care, love, empower. There's Ubuntu. And selfhood, compassion, and abundance. And Musa is the name, which means generosity. So it's a doll in celebration of the philosophy of South Africa that is one of humanism. And this is a hospital doll. My daughter had a knee replacement, and I took her hospital gown and made the doll while I was sitting in the room with her. And I wanted children to learn that they have a responsibility in their healing. So I wrote this book that tells about the operation. I must think positive thoughts. I love myself to help heal my body, etc. And here it is, say ah. And it has a little bracelet that says he's allergic to penicillin. And this doll is interesting. This one you can't tell what it is till I turn it around. So let me go over and tell you. This is a child rights doll. And you see it has a hanky. It has a hanky, and on the back side it says, "Do not make me lie or cry. My body belongs to me, not we." So that's a child rights doll. And this cry, my body belongs to me, not we. And this is a doll in a wheelchair, a problem-solving doll, a wheelchair. And it has the steps to problem solving, like listen with both ears, take turns telling the problem, ask for help, etc., etc.
Now, are these dolls going on an exhibit somewhere? Do you have a gallery
Just here,
for them?
no, I don't know of any.
I think they're wonderful. I think you should take them to Laguna Beach to the gallery.
Well, if I knew a gallery that would want them, I would, but I have more at home, but I brought just some here.
How long have you been doing these?
About 10 years, probably. I formed the nonprofit 10 years ago to make dolls for children of trauma, and that's kind of when I started.
It's absolutely wonderful. So do you take the doll with you and show it to the child?
When I teach development of selfhood through the arts, and only when, for instance, if I'm teaching a lesson on listening skills, I would take the doll that's hearing impaired, only if it relates, I have a circle doll that has the steps to problem solving that I would take if I were teaching problem solving. So, but only if they relate to the lesson, So I teach in Africa 3 months each year, and have for many, many years. So that I don't have the benefit of the dolls over there, but the children make their own dolls and use doll making and storytelling as a way to discover who am I, what do I want, what are my needs, what is my purpose, etc. And then they make their own dolls, which is a very introspective activity that helps them heal. So I did my doctorate on the philosophy of Ubuntu to help address the legacy of apartheid using the humanistic philosophy. And I wrote 2 books on development of selfhood. So it all fits together. But anyway, thank you for your interest.